Diego Joseph Cupid, CEO of Business Lifeline Ltd, and I'm excited today for a new episode of Meet Your Neighborhood Entrepreneur. We are starting a new series, and today with us is none other than Miss Adena Brathwaite. She's the founder of
Enterprises Limited.
Awesome, Adena! Thank you very much for saving me from biting my tongue, as well as you are the winner of our Mompreneur promotion this year. So you got a nice feature for yourself and your business. And, we were really moved by your entrepreneurial story. So tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Okay. So I must say that growing up, I always wanted to work for someone.
Okay.
Easy. You don't have to deal with the responsibilities.
Right.
But in 2013, it was like, the law was saying it's time for a different move, because I was working in Trinidad Tobago mortgage finance for 13 years. I worked in 3 departments, and it was like, okay, I achieved what I had to do. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make this move. And then I was talking to my aunt. She lives overseas. And I was like, okay, so what to start off with? She said, I always want accessories. So start off with that. She's like, okay, so travel up and we'll work with that. She said, but you can't be selfish. Try to get for men also. So we started off doing the men and women accessories. And then my mother was like, okay, so why not go and do a course to make sure if it is just a hobby,
right,
or you could do it into a career. And I was like, okay. I did the courses. I was like, okay, I could do that. Then she's like, oh gosh, you have this camera from your grandfather since 9 years old, taking out pictures all over. Why not do photography? Okay, do a course also. So when I'm doing the course now, I was like, okay, I can do this also. Yeah, but I could do one more thing, One more thing. I was like, what, mommy, what? It's like, well, I'm always doing cakes, decorating flowers, but I could do events. I don't have the patience. I like the place to look pretty.
Yes.
But I don't have the patience. I say you have to work along with me. She said, of course I can train you with it. So with that now, that is how it is. It progressed into that. And then when I left TGMM, the church I go to, Aruka Revival Tabernacle, my pastor was like, okay, you finish your degree in business management. We have an expo in church. Why not be the events management? Sure. He's like, yeah, why not? So with that now, it gave me the confidence within that time there. And I was like, okay.
I could do this, right?
Yes, I could. Yes, I could do this. But one of the things where it is my father was like, you spend all this money to study, and you could not do your own business. Let somebody pay you. I was like, but I did business management,
yes,
and it has everything there. So I'm going to make sure that your money that you send me to study, that I will put it in the business. He was like, sure? I was like, yes. So I was like, okay, all right. So he has always been pushing me there. He said, make sure you do this, make sure you do that. You have to secure, you have to make sure you have your NIS, you have to make sure everything. It was at the beginning, it was my parents ensuring that I didn't have the headache.
Okay.
Right? And then I was like, well, starting up the business, why it is just to be a sole trader. It's like, do I limit it?
I like your parents already. Full scope.
He said, do a limited. He said, I don't want nobody knocking on your door. You need to sleep easy. And then with that, no, I registered the business. And then we did everything. He's like, okay, next step. We're going to be the NIS. I was like, I don't need to study that, man. Later on, he said, no. The year when I registered the business with NIS, that was the same year I got pregnant with my 3rd child.
Wow.
It's like, you see, look, you're getting back something. So with that now, I was like, okay, all right. So, you want to do something on your own, but you're getting that support there.
All right. So from your experience, that support made a big difference.
Yes.
Big difference.
Big difference. Because even when I talk to some of my friends, I was like, oh my gosh, your family, they always there with you. Right? Even like with my husband, I was like, when it is we were trying to figure out the names, he's like, okay, so you have 2 children. What you going to name it? What you going to name the business? I was like, I don't know. He said, well, join both names. So then my mother said, but you might want more children, so you have to put others. And I was like, I like the word enterprise because that will allow me to move to greater things. So that's how it is. We came up with Eriton, because it's Erin, the daughter, Ethan is the son, and the others is the daughter that is Ellie Snow.
Oh.
So, they always say, give her trouble. Look, your name not in the business. I said, don't worry, she's the others.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about how you balance the responsibility of a mom, 3 children,
Yes.
and others to come, yes?
Yeah.
But 3 children, and you're balancing the responsibility of running your own business. How was that for you?
So at the beginning, it was okay because I had the 2 children at the point in time, and I love to write. So I will always write down everything. Unfortunately, everything needs to do with time. So if it is time, it's like, I started to get stressed out, right? Even at a point in time, I was actually rushed to the hospital because I was so stressed out, right? Because I'm trying to balance everything. And of course, at that point in time, it was 2018. I was like, okay, it's time to ease it up now. Because to me, it was like, if it is, I'm entrepreneur, it's my business. So I wanted to sell the accessories, do the makeup, do the photography, do the events.
It's interesting that you raised that point because when you have the vision, somehow it's very difficult to get others to execute that vision in the way that you would want it done. And it is a challenge for most entrepreneurs as they mature in the role to start to scale. That is to grow, because in order for you to grow, now you have to make peace with the fact that you cannot do everything. So you now have to start achieving your business dreams through other people. And it is a transition. It is a hard transition, but it's unfortunate that you had to, become ill before you recognize I have no choice, but it is a real challenge for most entrepreneurs. There may be somebody watching us right now that's going through that challenge of how do I grow? How do I expand? How do I have others involved in my business?
Well, as I said, it was really hard because I'm a workaholic. And if it is, I have something where I'm supposed to go with my speed. Even though with the children, I was like, come, get with it. I cannot go with this speed, this slow speed. And because of that, I had a lot of falling out with people that I will try out to see, all right, if it is, they could do certain things into the industry. And it's like, okay, I don't think this could work out in the way how I did it. So I was like, you know what? I need to have balance in the sense of, even if the person don't go at my speed, that will keep me, at ease with it. So I did get some people to work with me that are workaholics like me. But there are also people that will have a slower pace, and that is what keeps the balance there. And even with my mother, she was
Your mommy have a good way of sticking that back in, yeah?
Remember, you have 3 children to live for. So with that now, the balance is there. And even with friends, they'll say, remember, yes, it is you want to do it on your own, but we are here. And with that now, a lot of the friends now are the ones who it is when we have the great projects are the ones who it is will come and work with me.
Right. Awesome. So getting the support you need. Let's talk about support in a slightly different context. So as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, there are so many areas that you have to cover, so many different things that you have to do to be an expert at so many different things. So you always need support. Yeah? What are some of the other areas that you think as an entrepreneur you would have liked to have more support?
I can't say a business where it is will give the support. Why I say that? Because I had the mindset that I could do it on my own. Working in a financial institute, I was like, okay, I can do my finances, I did business management, everything there. But when you realize you need to go and search to see if you have other people out there. There was one course I did that they did say I cannot do all by myself.
Correct.
And I just wanted to prove them wrong. And then when it is, I think it was after I had the incident in the hospital, then I was looking up with your business. I was like, no, I can do my thing, man. Business Lifeline, no. And then one day I got a phone. I was like, how these people get my number? They said, well, no, we're searching through, and that is how. And when it is you all spoke to me, it's like, all right, give these people a chance, boy. It's like, all right, And when in 2019, it was July, when it is you all had the networking.
Right.
It was in cruising.
Correct.
Right? And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have done this so long. Because I had so many people, they were doing photography and they were telling me things that I went through. And I said to myself, if I knew these people before, I wouldn't have to go through all of these things. I'm telling you. But it was a nice experience.
Yes.
Well, I was a little upset with the pandemic because of the fact I really couldn't do any more of the sessions at the point in time. Right? But that day into night, right? It impacts so much because you were able to get so many different people
and different perspectives.
Yes. So many different, and a lot of the things that people were saying, it was things that I went through before, and I could have just saved somebody's stress right.
Well, I'm glad that you said that because that's part of the philosophy that we always teach at Business Lifeline. You can learn by trial and error. Everybody can learn by trial and error. Most business people would have gone through some amount of learning by trial and error. But we also have to recognize that could be a bit counterproductive. Counterproductive in the context that you spend time learning it by trial and error when you could have just learned it from somebody else's experience. So you can fast track your experience. So again, that was a very important point, and hopefully there's somebody else out there who's, at that stage in their journey that will appreciate, listen, I don't always have to go the hard way. I don't always have to do it all myself. A man is not an island. Yes? So in order for me to scale my business, in order for me to grow my business, I have to learn how to delegate. I have to learn how to share information. And not just being on the receiving end, you have to be able to share your experience with someone else that they could grow. So before we wrap up, are there any bits of advice that you would want to give to a young entrepreneur coming up, starting your own business, balancing motherhood and entrepreneurship, and really driven to find that success?
My advice is listen to friends and family. Listen to them. You may not want to always take the advice, but in the background, you will realize, okay, I could take a piece from this and a piece from that, and search for support groups.
Okay.
Because the support groups will help. Because recently, I didn't want to go to a particular meeting because I felt that, hey, I know what to do. But the fact is, a little information from other people is what will help. And invest. Right? I say to myself, I deprive myself of a lot of things because I want to invest.
Right. That is some great advice there. Just one thing I want to stick in there, because there's some people who may argue they're not as fortunate as you in that they have friends and family who are supportive. So they may have quite the opposite, where, listen, their friends and family is saying to them, don't do this. Too much risk. Don't do this. Yeah? And they're bringing all that negativity to the table for them. So there's always balance in listening, balance to ensure that whatever you're listening to can help you take a step forward rather than taking a step backward. Yes? So Adena, I want to thank you for choosing Business Lifeline, first of all. Thank you for sharing your story, your experience, and we are looking forward for great things from
Eriton and others.
I'm going to get it. Eriton Enterprises. Yes, awesome. So, anything else that you'd want to share before we go?
Continue being a role model, because to be honest with my daughter, she's 10 years old and she has said, okay, I'm going to start my business.
Good.
Okay, and as I said, she was like, she didn't know if she wanted to get into it because of the responsibilities. I was like, oh my dear, business have your name on it. Come, let me go this thing. So, I'm always with her, right? So being a mother is much more than just being there for them. But
yes,
when it is like I tell her, I say, I'm saving for you, She's like, true. She's like, okay, all right, so let's go to do it. So it's much better when it is they know
and you get them involved.
Yeah, and you get them involved. So it's a nice journey. It's just a lot of sacrifice that you have to do.
Yes.
And you have to put that for sacrifice.
Great. Awesome. So, Nico Joseph Cupid, and with me today, Adena. So we're wrapping it up now, and we encourage you to stay tuned for next week's episode of Meet Your Neighborhood Entrepreneur, where you get the opportunity to share in the stories and the experiences of the entrepreneurs in your neighborhood. Now, you want to guess which neighborhood Adena is from?
Sandy Grande.
The beautiful neighborhood of Sandy Grande. Yes, so we have entrepreneurs from just about every way. Have a wonderful day from Business Lifeline Ltd.